Because for me, it's very interesting. Sometimes people will say your childhood, people could compare your childhood to probably the art or industry or career path chosen. How would you compare your childhood to theater?
I don't know, it's a natural fit, but it could very well have fit into being a policeman or a soldier.
So you were always, yeah, were you always creative? Someone
Yeah,
who would
I've
sit
always
and
been doing
write?
things. I've always been right. I used to write copy book, a copy book full of a story, for instance. A comic. You make a comic. You draw everything.
Okay.
You write everything.
Right.
But for me,
And I will believe that is theater because you are creating a visual, you're adding lines, creating that script, and it's something that you're gonna watch, read, identify, and understand, and everything in one. So I think that have a huge part to do with it.
But I've always been involved in what I was involved in my school choir from a boy. My school choir, I was involved in choral speaking as a boy in primary school. I was involved in the arts festivals in those days. We had arts festivals. I used to draw and paint, but that was my boyhood. Later on, got involved with a steel band, got involved with combos and music bands, etc., etc. But yeah, very busy. I was a busy boy.
Yeah.
Play basketball, play football. I mean, run track, do field events, do everything.
Would you say that a part of your theater, when it comes to dealing with young people, talented young people, was to add value to them?
I don't know. I've always been working with young people. Well, young people, older people, just people. But I've always said that someone should take the Mausaka Folk Theatre story and write about the lives of the people who were part of Mausaka Folk. That's a huge success story. That's a huge success story where you literally saw a village group grow from being just a group of villagers into totally talented people who became bank managers and councillors and boat builders and contractors and professors and you name it.
What was your involvement with the strolling players?
No, I had no involvement really, except that Freddie and I were very close.
Okay.
Freddie and I were very, very close.
I thought you used to write for them and for the
No.
pieces,
Freddie Kissoon alone wrote for the strolling players,
Okay.
and but he and I were very close.
Over the years, have you seen the theater, like the amount of participants increase or decrease over the years you have worked in?
I think it's increasing because we're largely as a result of the training facilities around these days. I mean, you have people being qualified in the theater arts at various levels, at certificate level, diploma level, degree level, being qualified in dance and music also, and visual arts also. That makes for the kind of industry thing you have been talking about. So it has been increasing. What is unfortunate, I find, and I mentioned that just last week to someone, that here we have something like the National Drama Association being very active back in the 70s and 80s, and even the 90s. And now when you have so many drama teachers around, so many people involved in the theater arts as trained people, when there is an opportunity to have an arm of the National Drama Association dealing exclusively with teaching the theater, etc., and teaching methods and methodologies and teaching accents in the theater, the National Drama Association now seems to be very dormant. seems to be doing almost nothing.
So with that being said, with regards to the career path, you see theatre being appreciated, or it has its rightful place as a career path within the Caribbean?
Well, I don't think it has its rightful place. I don't think it will ever have its rightful place until we begin to clearly define the kind of theatre that we must make here. You will always find, when you do a lot of foreign plays, you will always find the group of people who will gravitate towards it, because, like I said this evening, there is so much hankering after things that are foreign, not because we simply hanker after them, but because we simply don't know better. We simply don't have the kind of diet that would teach us from young to appreciate who we are and what we are.
Because if you allow me, the interpretation, the minute young, so any one of us now enter and is like, what you're doing at UE? I'm doing theatre and drama and education. For what? To do what? To act? There's always the first negative stigma or approach against theatre and drama, and they do see it as a career path, as in correlation to a doctor and a lawyer and an engineer and this type of thing. And that has
well, let's deal with the reality. I mean, what avenues are really there for someone who has done a degree or a certificate or diploma in theatre arts? Apart from teaching, you see, so, but one can say the same thing for literature.
Correct.
For literature in English.
Yeah.
One can say the same thing for many other fields of study. But I think people in the theatre are at a bit of a disadvantage, because we appear to have fun when we're making theatre. We appear to be having so much fun. And since nothing that you're doing serious could have so much fun, we're really playing the fool as far as everybody else can say. You know? So the fact that you decide you want to do theatre, you want to do theatre, you want to. Apart from which, in Trinidad, we feel everybody can act, which is not true. And we feel also that the theatre is only about acting, which is also not true. There are all of these misconceptions. But who can remove these misconceptions? Only we can. Only we can, by taking a very serious approach to what we're doing. Like I say, by informing all that we do with sufficient scholarship that allows us to talk to anybody, anywhere, about what we are doing in a very serious way.
But besides Best Village, and thank God for persons like you who to put on these shows, there are not many other platforms. And we as young actors, directors, I mean, we're studying and doing our best. But her discipline is music, or is theatre, someone is dance, visual arts. So how could we get a platform ready so it can be taken serious?
Create your own platform.
Okay.
Create your own platform and make it resonate with all kinds of songs in this place.
Okay.
How do you overcome a writer's block?
How do you overcome?
A writer's block.
Writers don't get blocked. I think that is a whole joke. If you're building a house, you have a plan and you build the house with a plan, so you can't get blocked. If you're cooking up a pot of food, you have a recipe and you can't get blocked, you make the food. But you're doing something that is winging it at every turn.
Yeah.
Going for the impulse, going for the I feel like, I would like to. You don't get blocked. You temporarily cannot see what road you want to take.
So you pause and go
So you
at it
pause.
again. Yeah.
You have a drink.
Yes.
You take a walk down the road. You talk to some partners. You talk to some friends. The thing is to not worry about it, because it is not that you are blocked. It's not a writer's block you have. You just cannot see the road to go as yet. I remember this same play, To Confirm St. Peter.
Mm-hmm.
To Confirm St. Peter, it's a nice story, but it's a very Anyway, I'm working on this play to confirm St. Peter. First play I'm writing. And I get to a point where I just can't go further. I guess that's what you call a writer's block, that's it. I just can't go further. So I sit and I agonize about it for a long while, and I say, well, what the dickens is this? And I row and I fuss and I fret and I cuss and I do all kind of things. 2 days pass, 3 days pass, I put the play down. And one day I'm driving through Aruka. And just as I'm passing by Dillon Street, not Dillon Street, Waterloo Road, by the Catholic Church, I see this priest, young black man, walking out of the church and crossing the street into the shop opposite. I stopped. I said, but that is it. Turned back, went home, wrote the play.
And what was that connection?
I don't know. But I saw who my priest was.
Okay.
I saw my priest in action, and I just said, I go, but that's the priest.
But the characteristics that he demonstrated
I don't
was humility.
know. I have no idea. I went home and I wrote the play, and that is the play that was to confirm St. Peter.
I gotta go. You're going with the mind, the creativity. What happens at this very moment? What directs you, leads you?
Okay.
And I guess that is the strength you have as a playwright, director, that type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that question sounds good.
The last time you directed a theater production, what was your greatest challenge or achievement when putting it on?
Directing the play. That was the greatest challenge. The greatest challenge was directing it. Was I don't know. I mean, it's directing the play.
Okay. And just to leave it as something to research, in our program, theater and drama in education, there are different aspects, different disciplines we all have. We are involved in actually. For me, what play a little piece of production, I mean, we have been digging up in Bitter Cassava, but we ain't seen much in terms of online stuff. But which play would you recommend to us to really sit down and probably take in, where the lessons could assist us as stage directors, that type of thing, that all the elements combined, we could probably get a lesson from it or learn something from the method or process.
Bitter Cassava.
This is it, but we saw Pete, but it was the rehearsals, right?
It was the rehearsals.
The rehearsals.
It was posted on YouTube. It was the only, in terms of Bitter Cassava, that was the only thing.
Another thing that kind of stood out to us was with Denzel Washington, but that is local, foreign.
Yeah.
I forgot the other guy's name. Not Denzel. The African actor. Is Denzel, right?
Yeah, that was the newer version.
Yeah.
Of Denzel Washington.
But some of the theories and so forth are from back then. But I think the foundation of it is excellent, that a lot of directors and so forth don't use now. So that's the reason actually was for the question, which play is something we can look at, sit down. Because actually, and I'd like to say this in closing, for our presentation, we have to do emancipation, present emancipation. And in presenting emancipation or on emancipation to our other colleagues, we are going to adapt your style in terms of theater, use your background, everything, and put this together, this production on emancipation together, but using theater. on stage. So that's sort of guidance for us.
Yes, but when you ask me what should you look at, I feel the artist has a way of seeing. More than anything else, the artist has a way of seeing, a line of sight on everything that is unique and fundamentally different from the line of sight anybody else has on that particular thing.
Okay.
I feel the challenge is twofold. One, to recognize that you have a unique way of seeing. And I mean, to me, everybody, each person has a unique way of seeing. But it is this person who recognizes that he or she has a unique way of seeing, and that this unique way of seeing is worth telling to the world.
Okay.
The second challenge is, how do I convert this manner of my seeing into visual and oral terms so that it speaks to people in particular ways that I would like it to. And to do that, to do those two things, do not require your looking at some other work
Okay.
to determine what modus you would use. To my mind, what happens is that you look at work, a multiplicity of different types of work,
Okay.
to expand your own vocabulary of the theater, your vocabulary of dance, your vocabulary in terms of modes of music, your vocabulary in terms of design, so that you have a whole world of different ways of seeing and being and doing that you know exist. And then you find a way of unearthing what is your way of seeing. When I see her, what do I see? What jumps out at me? What do I want to emphasize? What do I want to give focus to?
Okay.
What do I want my audience to see or hear or think or feel at any time?